I want to talk about one of the hidden pitfalls, and I think this is really a hidden pitfall, that people trying to sell their home on their own, what are in the technology or the terminology of real estate called for sale by owners, right? What they're missing or where they get trapped. So if you're looking to sell your home on your own, this may be a place where you've gotten yourself trapped, your foot nailed to the floor. It's a heuristic, it's a cognitive bias that traps human beings. Or if you're a realtor and you're watching this and you're out to work with people for sale by owners, this may be a place they get nailed to the floor. Their foot gets nailed to the floor. And it's in the heuristic of loss aversion, okay? That human beings will avoid loss they're more interested in avoiding loss than they are in gain. That human beings are twice as sensitive to loss as they are to gains. In other words, you would need to win $200 to feel as good as losing $100 makes you feel bad. Okay, and study after study has shown this, that human beings are 2 to 2.5 times more sensitive to losses than they are to gains, that we're loss averse. And if you think about the cognitive bias from a genetic or from a standpoint of our natural selection, it makes sense. I mean, if we had something growing, in the savannah and we're not out to lose it and die in the sun, we would be more sensitive to loss. Bird in the hand, that's the whole phenomenon. Except when you're talking about expensive financial transactions, we don't have any natural selection to guide us. It's not a good use of a heuristic. So what is it that people are loss averse to? Because it's statistically far more likely that you will get more money selling your house on an open market through the MLS using a realtor, selling it quote unquote retail, than you would be selling it wholesale, which is basically what you're doing when you do a for sale by owner, right? You put a yard sale sign up in the yard, you go to Home Depot, you get the little for sale by owner sign, you put it up in the yard, it looks like a yard sale, people are out shopping for bargains. You would never pay, if I found you a Rolex at a yard sale, I don't care if it had the tag on it, you wouldn't pay the same amount you paid in the store for it. You as the buyer would want to pay less. So when someone comes to you as a buyer and you're selling your home on your own, the chances are they're looking to save that money that you're thinking of saving by not hiring the realtor, because mostly people sell it on their own because they don't want to pay the realtor side commission. They're trying to save 2 or 3%, right? So let's talk about that 2 or 3%, because universally when I talk to people selling on their own, it's always about how much money they make, right? When I say to them, is this about how much money you make, or is this about the money you spend? Wouldn't you rather make more money? If you knew, if you could spend a little bit more and make a lot more, would that make sense to you? Would you do that? Yes, we'll do that. So, but the heuristic, the shortcut, the cognitive bias makes it look like, and this is where the loss aversion comes in, that me paying an agent is way more painful than me not getting the money. Paying something, losing money, paying it out of my pocket, which is out of the deal, looks like it's a loss. If someone pays me $500,000 for the house and I need to take out of that $15,000 to pay the agent, it is worse for me than if I just got, really honestly, $475,000 for the house. It's $10,000 more to do it the way the realtor's gonna sell it, but even just getting $475,000, there's no loss involved for me. I got the $475,000 and I didn't have to give any of it out. Never mind that it's a $10,000 net loss to them. The $500,000 with the $15,000 out is $485,000. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like I just spent $15K, and if you got $475,000 as a for sale by owner, it looks like you got $475,000. And that's the heuristic that people get trapped in when they're out to sell their home on their own. It's that paying of the commission that looks like they're losing, feels like they're losing, when in fact, getting the $475,000 doesn't feel that way. Now, almost universally, an agent can make that up. I mean, certainly a good agent can. I literally just sold a house yesterday where the client called me and wanted to do this for sale by owner and wanted my advice, and I gave them my advice, and great. And the highest property, the highest sale in that building, it was a condo, it was $275,000, and I said, okay, well, what's your number? And they said, well, we want to get $285,000. And I said, okay, good. So if I get you $285,000, which is $10K over the highest that's ever been sold in that building, Do you care what I take off that if I get anything else? I said, I promise I'm going to get my 3% in the work I do. And sure enough, we sold it for $295, which means they net the same $285, but they didn't have to do staging, they don't do any of the other stuff that they had to do, and they got $10K over the highest price that had ever been there. Had they just opened it up as a for sale by owner, chances are they're getting that $275. They're not even getting over the last sale because everyone wants that bargain. So the math is the math, but the way it feels to people is the way it feels to people. So if you're selling your home on your own, take a step back and look to see, are you trapped by a heuristic, by a cognitive bias? Does it feel worse to give that money than it does to get less? Because dynamically as a human being, it will. And then if you're a realtor working with a for sale by owner, know that's what they're going through. It feels worse to lose something than it feels good to gain it. That's how that works for a human being. All right, so if you got questions about that, let me know. Aaron Hendon with Christine & Company over at eXp.